So I mounted the Sig Romeo 2 onto my P320 Spectre Comp, and I figured that I'd give a real quick overview. I haven't actually shot with this red dot yet. I just mounted it today, so I thought that I would give an overview of it. So, and maybe compare it to the Holosun 509T, because the price of this optic is a couple $100 more than the 509T, and I'm kind of wondering if it's worth it. I guess more information will come when I use it, but right now let's just look at this red dot. So it's got 12 brightness settings and 2 or 3 night vision settings. I don't shoot with nods with my handgun, so I probably won't get to test those out. It's got a battery life of 25,000 hours, which seems kind of short to me, actually. This is the one with the 3 MOA red dot. So I guess that the claim to fame with this optic is that it is it can be in multiple configurations, right? So it can be a normal optic with an open emitter. It can have a shroud that covers it. And let me get this shroud out to show you. It can have a shroud that covers half of it and kind of gives it some additional strength, right? Or it can be like I have it set up here in the fully enclosed optic configuration, and with that it comes with a window or a piece of glass. It's not actual glass, but a piece of carbonate something, right, that can be put in here, and it's got a seal on it. So when you push the fully enclosed shroud down, it actually does seal it, and it's supposed to be water resistant. I've got my doubts on that after seeing how this goes on, because the seal is on the top here. There's a rubber gasket, but I didn't see a rubber gasket that actually fits between the polycarbonate glass there and the actual red dot. So I didn't actually see that. So I'm not really sure how water resistant this really is. It does mount directly to the Sig P320 slide, so there's no plate needed, and that's kind of why I chose this. It mounts directly to it. Even with it mounted directly to it, you can't co-witness with your normal sights. You'd have to get suppressor height sights, but there is a notch right here that you could use as a rear sight, right? But you still can't co-witness with it. It has a shake awake feature, so after 2 minutes, I think it is, it goes off by itself, and then motion of the gun makes it come back on. And the buttons are pretty tactile and they're recessed here, so I'm a right-handed shooter, so I don't really think that these are going to get accidentally pressed because they'll be up against the holster. So I think that's pretty good. It went on really easy, and they provide a tool which is kind of like I think it's a fix-it stick with a Sig brand on it, and this one is actually a torque, so that when you torque down the screws, which you can't get to now that the optic is fully enclosed, they're enclosed inside they're enclosed in there. I don't know if you can see them, they're in there, but it's supposed to be 28 inch-pounds. So I will say that the screws that go in here that are supposed to be 28 inch-pounds, they're really fragile. I'm not sure how many on and offs they'll actually take before they strip out or get rounded, right? So that's something to be really careful with when you're putting this optic on, so that you don't actually strip those screws out. And inside, so luckily, and this is kind of a good thing, it has an external battery. So, and to take that battery out, and I was worried about this at first, there's a button right here that's kind of recessed into the back right corner of the optic. but I've tried to press this by accident. You just really can't do it. I had to get a punch to push this, and then it pops right out. So this at least seems to be very solid and very well thought out. The dot on the optic is clear, visible. The window is rather large. I mean, it's a generous window, and there's a little bit of blue to it, but almost all optics have that slight blue tint that helps with the emitter not having to run so bright that you burn your battery out even quicker. So things that I like about this is I like the buttons. I like the external battery. I don't have to take it on and off. The windage and elevation dials are really easy to get to, and they're 1 MOA, approximately 1 MOA clicks. In the fully configured, fully enclosed optics mode, without testing whether or not it's actually waterproof, I think it's relatively sturdy. I don't really like the gap here, but that's to be expected because the shroud has to clamp down over top of it. If you're putting this on, when I put this on to keep it from fogging up, you can put some anti-fog on the inside or some chemical like that, like cat crap or something like that. Or what I did is I actually used a hair dryer on low and kind of heated it up a little bit, made sure everything was dry, and put it on. And I haven't had yet, and I haven't really had it in wild temperature swings, but I haven't had any fogging issues at all. It does come with a lens pin, and that is also a neat addition, right, to clean the lens off. So there are some good things to like about this dot, but for what you get with this dot was, I don't know, somewhere close to $700, right? So what you get with this dot, let's compare it to the Holosun 509T. So the 509T, and I've got this on a Staccato CS. So the 509T does require a plate. There's a plate here to hook it to the Staccato. It doesn't direct mount to the slide. It also has an external battery. It's also approximately MOA clicks. The window is smaller by a decent amount. I don't know if you can see this, but the window is smaller by a decent amount. I'm trying to get that to line up. But it also has a slight blue tint to it. Again, it's very slight. I don't find that to be a problem. It's super clear. Both of these optics are the lenses are super clear. That slight blue does not bother me at all because I know what it's for. This one has 10 brightness settings and 2 night vision settings. It is about $420, give or take, right? So it's way cheaper. It also has the shake awake feature. So goes out when you put it down, comes back on when you pick it up. It also has a solar panel. So in the sunlight, you can pretty much take the battery out of this and it'll still run. Which, by the way, the battery life on this is 50,000 hours on 6, I think. The battery life on the Sig is, I think on 6 or something like that, it's only 25,000 hours, and it doesn't have the solar panel. Something that the Sig does have that the Holosun doesn't have is it has something called, Motac or something. Anyway, there's a little magnet in the case that when you put the case on, even if the optic is on, that magnet deactivates the dot so that you can save some battery. And I've heard, and I haven't seen any of these, but I've heard that there's actually holsters that have this attached to it, so you can have your dot on, and when you put it in the holster, it has this same magnetic system on it. It deactivates your dot until you pull it out of the holster. So that's kind of neat, but I haven't actually seen any of those holsters. So not sure how prevalent those are or how expensive they are either. So all in all, and I might as well say that I bought both these guns, both these optics. All this is my own money, right? Because I like to play with these things. But for the money, I actually am going to say that until I shoot it at least, and it proves me otherwise, that I actually like the Holosun better. The negative to the Holosun is the window is a little bit smaller. That seems to be the negative to the Holosun. and it's not that much smaller. The other thing is that it doesn't convert like this does between 3 different variants of a dot, but I'm going to run this in the fully enclosed red dot position all the time. So I'm not sure, fully enclosed emitter all the time, so I don't really get any benefit out of that. The main benefit that I get out of this is it direct mounted to the slide. So, you know, you can leave in the comments if you disagree or if you've got different experience. But to me, the Holosun is actually the way to go. The 509T is actually the way to go. I don't see any positives to the Sig so far, Romeo 2, that outweigh the Holosun. So anyway, that's the end of this real quick review. I'll actually shoot with this dot, and I may change my entire opinion, and I may think that it's worth the $600 or $700 that I paid for it. We'll have to see. So, oh, the other thing, this Holosun, which the Sig doesn't have, review's not over. The Holosun has multiple configurations for the dot. It has the dot by itself. It has the 2.5 MOA dot and a 32 MOA circle, which is actually what I have this on. I actually like that. And it has just a 32 MOA circle. So it has multiple configurations for the actual reticle. The reticle in the Sig is just the 3 MOA dot. It doesn't change or anything like that. Both of these have really good buttons that I don't think are going to get accidentally pushed. So again, the Holosun has just more features that I'm going to use versus the maybe, I hate to say this, but the maybe gimmicky convertible aspect of this dot, because most people, I think, that get this, are getting it because they want to run a fully enclosed dot like this Holosun. And I'm not sure how much use anybody's going to get out of this particular optic in any of the other configurations, but then again, that's just personal preference. I'm going to run this in the fully enclosed dot. So I'll do some more testing. I'll actually shoot with this, sighted in, shoot with this, and then I'll give my opinion on actually how it works. It looks really neat, so that at least is a positive. So it also comes with, and I don't need this, but it also comes with, if you have a loaded chamber indicator, I keep saying this review's over, but it's not. If you have a loaded chamber indicator up here, it also does come with a shroud that stops the that stops any oil from blowing up on your lens, and that's a good thing. But this doesn't have a loaded chamber indicator. There's no gap there, so I didn't install that. So, all right, please subscribe to my channel if you're interested in reviews like this from somebody that, you know, not an industry insider. I'm not getting anything from Sig, not getting anything from Staccato or Holosun for that matter. I just am buying things that I want to actually test and that I actually want to use. And I do like this handgun. I'm really hoping that this optic provides some pretty good benefits for this handgun. So anyway, please subscribe to my channel if you're interested in reviews like this, and have a good day. Bye.